Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those that are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amber Christians. And before I get into today's video, I just want to apologize for not posting for a whole month. Almost a whole month. I just haven't been, I wasn't in the best space, but I'm feeling so much better now and I'm ready to be more consistent. I'll probably post a video once a week or twice a week. So yeah, I also think I created this channel to create awareness on certain topics, especially mental health. And because it was something that I struggled with for the longest time, I think it was more difficult for me to speak on it. And that's probably why it also took me this long to make this video. But I'm ready and I'm prepared and I'm ready to shed some light on this topic. As you can see by today's title, I'll be speaking about mental health, creating mental health awareness, and also sharing my personal experience with anxiety and depression. And I hope I can encourage you guys, whoever is watching this that is going through anxiety and depression, encourage you guys to know that it does get better and it's not always going to be that way. Like, it does get better, guys. So I struggled with anxiety and depression since the age of 14, say 13, 14, and I've been going through this for on and off 9 years. So I think the biggest low I had with regards to anxiety and depression was 4 years ago, but um, it started when I was 14. And it wasn't something that I was very open about. I never spoke to anybody about it. It was something I was very ashamed about because of the stigmas attached to mental illnesses. So, being that young, I never really spoke about it. And what triggered my anxiety and depression was losing my father at the age of 14, and also how I experienced that loss. And I never really dealt with it. So, instead of speaking about it, for me at 14, I wanted to be strong. I never really wanted to speak about it. And I didn't want people worrying about me. So, I kept everything to myself. And in my mind, that was being strong and dealing with it. But instead, I wasn't dealing with what I was going through. I was internalizing and bottling it up, and I didn't even realize that I was going through a depression. And now when I look back at how I was living my life, it made sense. Like, I was constantly at home. I never wanted to go out. I was constantly creating this comfort zone for myself. I became stuck in just being at home, distracting myself from what I was feeling, what I was thinking. um I was fearful, anxious, like everything you don't want to be, because I wasn't living, I was just existing, and I was like very scared. And I was constantly sleeping. I never really wanted to go out. Like, it was just a sad life to live, especially as a teenager. Like, I wasn't out there living life. And also, what impacted or also affected my depression and my anxiety was being a teenager, and being a teenager that didn't really fit in that much. And I was extremely insecure as well as a young girl. Like, I don't know if a lot of people can relate to that. And that also, like, peer pressure, insecurities, trying to fit in with everybody, that can also affect your mental health, and that can also affect you as a teenager. Like, I can relate to that. So I was extremely insecure. But I just want to say that if I could go back to being young, I would embrace the things that made me different and not be ashamed of it. Because I know when you're young, you want to fit in and you want to be like everybody else, but it takes so much courage to stand out from the crowd, and you say, you know what, this is the thing that makes me different, and it's okay because there's somebody else out there that has the same difference, that's looking for someone to encourage them to embrace that too. So don't be ashamed of the things that make you different. In fact, embrace it, guys. So that's what I'm doing right now. So my anxiety and my depression as well was something I was very ashamed of. I never spoke to anybody about it, not even my mother or my brother. I did open up once or twice, but I never really got, how do I say, into it. And when I was younger, my mother sent me for like therapy and stuff. But being 14, like, I think I was 14, 15, it was already uncomfortable for me to open up to a family member about what I was going through. So it felt very awkward for me to open up to someone I don't know. So therapy never really worked for me. So I was like, I don't need therapy and whatever, and I never went for it again. And I just kept everything to myself. And as time passed, I found myself using different methods to cope with what I was going through. And looking back, I realized that I wasn't dealing with what I was going through. I wasn't dealing with my anxiety or my depression. I was just looking for ways to distract myself from it. And I remember, like, you, um, I know what caused my anxiety as well was the way I lost my father. Like, it was just me and him, and everything happened so quickly. Like, I think I was 13 years old and I came from school and he got sick and everything happened so quickly, and I tried to get help and whatever, and before I knew it, it was too late and he passed away. And I think that gave me major anxiety, and it wasn't only the last year I realized what triggered my anxiety. And like, I remember being younger and I used to share a room with my mother, so I'd be laying next to her and I'd wake up in the middle of the night worrying if she's okay. Like, you don't know when anything can happen at any time. So that gave me major anxiety. And also being young, just there's a lot of things that make you anxious, but that's what triggered my anxiety. And it's also important to um, sit back and figure out what is causing you to feel the way you're feeling, like accepting your truth. Like, I know I got much better when I accepted the fact that I was going through anxiety and depression. And to be very honest with you, last year was the first time I sat down and I was like, this is what I'm going through, I need to accept it. Yes, I don't like it, but denying it or making as if it's not there isn't gonna help the situation. I need to deal with what I was going through. And anyway, so I just created comfort zones. Sorry, I just created comfort zones for myself in 2017. Um, I think I became like rebellious. Like, I didn't care. I just did my own thing. I was just trying to distract myself from what I was feeling, and I just did whatever. I didn't have a care in the world. And I think that was one of my lowest years that I had. And then 2018 and 2019 were much more better years. I was in a better mental space. And I was so happy. I was even being like encouraging other people that it does get better, and it will go away, not knowing that anything can trigger your anxiety and your depression. And 2018 and 2019, I was so much better. And then 2020, and we had to go in lockdown. And I didn't even realize how lockdown affected my anxiety and depression, because when you're going through depression, you tend to isolate yourself by yourself. Like, you don't want to go out, you're constantly in a house, you don't want to socialize with anybody, and you just want to sleep, eat, stay in, sleep. It's not something you can control. Like, you just feel like your mind, like, you just feel down all the time, and you don't know why you feel like this. You can't explain it to anybody. And I remember lockdown happened, the first week was okay, and then it was like I was going back, like 2 years prior to 2020. I was getting better, I was finding myself, I was coming out more, I wasn't stuck in my comfort zone, like I was in a much better space. And then 2020 hit and we had to stay indoors, and I could find, like, I literally found myself going back to that depressive state without even knowing. Like, I started becoming fearful again. I started constantly wanting to stay inside, not wanting to go out anymore. And I didn't even realize that I was going back into that way. And then a lot of things happened, and again, I never spoke about what I was going through. I internalized and bottled everything up, and internalizing things is not healthy, guys. It made me physically sick. Like, not speaking about my mental health, not speaking about my anxiety and depression, not opening up about how I felt, and trying to keep it to myself and hiding it and always putting on a brave face. It made me physically sick. Like, um people that are going through anxiety and depression aren't the people that you would expect. It would be the people that look the happiest, but when they go home, it's like they can't hold it in anymore. And I remember, like, trying to, like, just putting on a brave face, trying to say, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. And I think what hurts even more is the effort that you have to put in into pretending that you're always okay, that you're in a better space, trying to laugh, forcing yourself to smile. Like, it's the smallest things that you have to force yourself to do. Sorry, to do. And then I wasn't in the best space, and my depression got worse. And then last year September, I started getting sick, and I started throwing up every single day for 4 months straight. And I knew it was my anxiety and depression that was making me this sick. But for me, I felt ashamed to admit it. Like, I wasn't open about the fact that I was going through anxiety and depression, and I didn't want to come across like I was weak-minded. So I kept it to myself for the longest time, and I just couldn't anymore. I think by the third month, like, we went to doctors and they couldn't pinpoint exactly what was causing my nausea. And then I just couldn't anymore, and I went to my mother, and I was supposed to go for a scope as well, and I didn't go for that. But I went to my mother, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not okay. This is why I'm throwing up. I'm going through anxiety and depression. And I opened up, and speaking to someone really helps. I know it's difficult, and you feel like nobody understands what you're going through, but really opening up to somebody truly helps, guys. Even if you have to sit in their presence and just break down and cry if you need to. But speaking about it, opening up about it, as hard as it sounds, because for me it was very hard. For almost 9 years, I never spoke to anybody really about it. I was ashamed about it. I never, um how do I say, like, yeah, I never really opened up about it. But like, now I can truly say it helps speaking to someone. Even if it's a friend, if you don't feel comfortable speaking to your parents about it, if it's a friend, um or a family member that you feel comfortable with, even if you can't speak, if you just need somebody to hug you and let you know that it's okay, um that helps too. But yes, I spoke about it. And then I remember I just, like, I told my mother about it, but she said still go for the scope just to make sure. So then I went for the for I you first have to go for a COVID test before you go for the scope. I mean, yes, go for the scope, go for the procedure at the hospital. So I went for the COVID test, and um, I went for the COVID test the Friday. I think it was in December, the Friday, and then the Saturday I got my results, and I tested positive for COVID. And in my mind, I was like, oh my word, I'm physically weak, like, already, and now I'm gonna have COVID. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. Like, mentally I'm not okay, physically I'm already not okay because I'm constantly throwing up, and now this as well. And in my mind I was like panicking, obviously for the people that I was in contact with, but also for the fact that I'm going to be isolated for 2 weeks in a room. And I'm going through depression, and I feel like that's, for me, in my mind I was like, I can either self-destruct or I can become stuck. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. Like, guys, when I tell you, I never recognized myself. Like, I lost a ton of weight. I couldn't eat anything because of my depression. Like, I was constantly vomiting. I never had an appetite. I had to force myself to eat something so I could take medication to boost my immune. And it was going on like this for 4 months. And then I had COVID, and my body was even more weak, and I even struggled more to get food down. And I just would literally, like, sit and pray and ask God, what is going on? Like, I'm losing, like, faith. I don't know what anymore. Physically I'm not okay, mentally I'm not okay. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. And when I tell you God is good, guys, like, I was isolated. I wasn't in contact with anybody, and it's like all I needed was God. Like, I wasn't going to the world to distract myself. I wasn't speaking to anybody about it. I wasn't using anything to help me with my depression. It was just me and God, and He helped me through one of the toughest struggles, something that I've struggled through for 9 years. I had a sense of hope that I could get through it. For the first time, I had a sense, like a proper sense of hope, that I could get through it. And when I tell you, I can't explain it to you, but when I tell you that I just woke up one day and I was in such a much better, in such a better space mentally. Like I didn't know how to explain it, and then I found myself. I think it is the beginning of this year. I found myself January. I found myself leaning more towards um my word and like praying more, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going through this, I need to. It was like unintentionally I was just leaning towards it, and I was leaning more towards my faith, and I was just in a much better space. And I can truly say, for anybody that's going through anxiety and depression, putting God in the center of it all really helps. God is a God of healing. He sees your pain and He loves you so much. You matter and you are so loved. And that's what I felt when I was going through it. I mean, when you're going through anxiety um, and depression, you feel like there's no way out, because every day you wake up feeling this heaviness and this pain in your heart, and you can't explain it. Like you just feel this way, like everything can be going good around you, but inside you're still not okay. Like you don't understand why this is happening to you. And what helped me was letting go of all my distractions. I literally isolated myself from everything. Like I went off social media, because I think when you're going through that and you're in a low place, that tends to add to it, because you start comparing yourself and all those things. So I deleted all my social media accounts. Now and then, like now and then I would go on, but I wouldn't make a habit of going too much on social media. So I lessened my time on social media, and I spend more time reading my word and getting to know who I am, and also dealing with what I'm going through, and not distracting myself from what I'm going through. Like doing, like, it's difficult to sit with what you're going through and being like, you know what, I'm not okay, I need to deal with this, and choosing true healing, like choosing to heal from what you're going through. And these days where I struggle, but I just go on my knees and I pray, and I know that I'm not alone through this. God is with me. Whenever I feel down, I know to pray or to just sing a worship song. It helps so much. Like I know when you're going through it, thinking, ah, it can't be, but I'm telling you, it really helped me. And also really what helped me was exercising. I have this Fit On app, so I do like kickboxing. I didn't do it in a week or two. I need to start exercising again, but exercising helps as well. Because like when you exercise, you break physical boundaries. You challenge yourself mentally to go beyond a limitation. So I think that helps you, like when you feel like you can't and you feel down, like exercising helps you push that boundary. So exercising helped me. um finding a hobby or something to distract yourself, so you're not always in your mind, and you're not always thinking about what you're going through. Doing like fun activities like hiking or something that challenges you helps as well. And I just want to encourage you guys, whoever is going through anxiety and depression and has been going through it for the longest time, that I know it's a dark place to be in. I know you feel like nobody understands you, but trust me, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It does get better, and putting God in the middle and the center of it all helps, guys. I'm telling you, trust me, nothing in this world can fill you or help you the way Jesus can. Like, you can go to anything. Like, I know I went to so many things and nothing could help me but putting my faith in God. So I really hope this video helped you, and encouraged you and inspired you. It took a lot out of me to open up, but I'm glad I did. And there's power in speaking up about what you're going through, because you're not the only one going through it. There's somebody that needs that encouragement as well. So that's why I'm opening up about my anxiety and my depression. And also, I have two Bible verses that helped me. So Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7, don't worry about anything but pray about everything with thankful hearts. Offer up your prayers and requests to God. Then, because you belong to God, to Christ Jesus, God will bless you with peace that no one can completely understand, and this peace will control the way you think and feel. And then John 4 verse 31 to 32, it's like God says, the disciples tell him he must eat something, and he says he doesn't need food. His strength, or the things that he does for God sustains him. And I think I related to that in a different sense, where it was like when I was going through anxiety and depression, nothing in this world nothing that I tried to use to help me cope with it, like whether it be meds or going to someone or depending on anything in this world, nothing helped me but praying about it and reading my Bible helped me so much, guys. I won't even lie to you. So, and speaking to somebody that encourages you, surrounding you with people that lift you up and don't make you feel bad for what you're going through. So, surround yourself with people that empower you and encourage you and inspire you to be better, and also that makes you feel that it's okay to go through what you're going through and doesn't make you feel bad for it or whatever. And yeah, I hope this video helped anybody that is going through anxiety and depression, and I hope you guys know that it does get better and you are so loved once again. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a good day further. Bye.